in this higher socioeconomic bracket, there's a huge pressure to have a good body image, whether it's social media, or maybe it's a parent or a sibling or a mean friend or a well-meaning friend, but it comes out as not so great. There can be a lot of pressure to stay thin, to be lean. And those aren't necessarily healthy. So how, as a dietitian, what are your recommendations for students if they have a parent or a coach or friend that's telling them, oh my gosh, you need to lose weight, or you're packing on some pounds, or we're sending you to the United States and don't get fat like all Americans, right? Like, how do we advise our students about ways that they can talk to that person? Is it they say, well, here are my goals, or this is what I'm trying to do, or yes, I would like to lose a little weight. How can I do that healthily? Like, what tools can we give our students to navigate body image and eating healthy, but to have a appropriate, healthy conversation with those people that might be having a negative impact?
Mm-hmm. And I love that you say what tools, because I think it is all about using the tools that are available, right? Like, don't do it alone, pretty much, because that's a lot to take on your own. And so I love that you asked the question, or use the example of a question of, okay, yes, this is a goal of mine. Would you mind helping me with this? Or are there some resources that you're aware of that I can use? Or, my personal goals are to improve my sleep quality and to manage my stress. And I really think that those things along are coupled with my, increased focus on balancing my meals and eating more like whole real foods as opposed to processed items is going to help me to achieve that goal. But if I don't meet my goal, or I'm not seeing progress in the next, month or couple of months, would you mind, helping me to find a different approach? I think it ties very well into the previous question that we had about the disordered eating or eating disorders, because when individuals are pushing things and ideas on you, and perhaps, you're being told that you are gaining some weight, but really you're at a healthy weight, and perhaps that individual's body image is skewed, right? And so a lot of it can lead to disordered eating or eating disorders. And I think utilizing the counseling center, absolutely. But I think the key is, how do you feel, and how do you feel about your body, right? Do you feel like you're doing the things that are supporting a healthy lifestyle, or are you struggling in areas? And if you are struggling, then utilize the tools, utilize maybe an accountability partner. But I think when you're talking to these individuals, I think it's important to tell them, okay, like I understand maybe where you're coming from, but here's what I'm working on personally. And when you mention, perhaps, like for me personally, if somebody was saying that to me, I would probably say, when you mention those types of things, it really makes me feel bad about myself. And that's not the direction I want to take. I don't want to have a bad relationship with food and my health. I want to be able to listen to my body, and that's really what I'm trying to do. And so if you don't mind supporting me in that, then I would really appreciate that. But I think it really comes down to utilizing the tools and the resources, and not doing it on your own, and having feedback from others, and making sure that you feel good, not that you're feeling that guilt and shame, which I talked about earlier, because I think those two things are the most toxic components to overall health. And so being able to feel empowered and feeling like, okay, I am doing good things for my health. Maybe these other people don't see it, but they're not with you 24/7. And so they don't know everything that's going on. And so that's where it's important to verbalize and to say, you know what, maybe you're right. Or, you know what, I don't think I am overweight, or I don't think I need to shed some pounds, and being able to have a open conversation. I think, again, easier said than done, but I do think that's where the counseling center could also be very helpful.
I really like that. Thank you for those